Okay, so here we go, our next 10. The manager of a swimming pool wants to compare the effectiveness of two laundry detergents, A and B, in cleaning the towels that are used daily. After each dirty towel is turned in, it is placed in the only washing machine on the premises. When the washing machine contains 20 towels, he flips a coin to determine, or she, I say he, if I offend you, I apologize, should determine whether A or B will be used for that load. The cleanliness of the load is rated on a scale of 1 to 10 by a person who does know which detergent was used. The manager continues using this experiment for many days. Which of the following best describes the manager's study? And that answer for number 11 is A. It was a completely randomized design. It didn't block by the detergent. It didn't block by a machine. There's only one machine. It didn't have a matched pairs, but for detergent A or B. It wasn't an observational study because we were judging them when we were using a replication, and there was the control. They were being compared to each other. So the answer on 11 is A. In the design of a survey, which of the following best explains how to minimize response bias? Minimize response bias. The best one is E, carefully word and field test survey questions. Okay, we had that discussion. Best thing here, I missed this one earlier, carefully word and field test survey questions to minimize response bias. To minimize response bias. Okay, 13. So we've got rabbits. And it says the mean weight is 5 and the standard deviation is 3. So if we think about it, this is 5, and this would be 2. This would be a -1. This would be 8, and this would be 11 within 2 standard deviations. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Of course, you can't have a negative rabbit. So let's look at this. Which of the following is most likely true about the weights for the rabbits in this sample? Well, think about it. If this is the mean, okay, if this is the mean, and I can't go beyond 0 right here. I cannot go beyond 0. So that means that all the data is this way. So what does this probably look like? Well, if this is my mean, I bet my median's somewhere in here. This is to the right of my median, which means this is skewed to the right. Okay, that is skewed to the right. The distribution of weights is skewed to the right because the least possible weight is within 2 standard deviations of the mean. 0 is within 2 standard deviations, so that means it's skewed to the right. 13 is C. All right, on 14, that is tossed. That is not even a choice. We're never going to discuss it because they tossed this question when they started doing a comparison of all the answers. Okay, number 15. Number 15. A polling firm is interested in surveying a representative sample of registered voters in the U.S. The firm is automated sampling so that random phone numbers within the U.S. are called. Each time a number is called, the procedure below is followed. So if there's no response or an answer machine, they automatically dial another one. If the person answers, they verify that the person answering is 18 years of age. If that person is not, like if my daughter who's 15 would answer, they'd say, whoop. Doesn't matter if the adult was home or not. They just say, whoop, and another number is called. If a person is at least 18 years of age, that person is surveyed. Okay. Some claim the procedure being used does not permit the results to be extended to all registered voters. So which of the following is not a legitimate concern about the procedure being used? That's important. These steps, which of those is not a legitimate concern? And the answer to that is B. Registered voters with unlisted telephone numbers may be underrepresented in the sample. That doesn't matter. We're just looking for people who have telephone numbers. So this is not a legitimate concern. The rest of them may be, but this one is not. Okay, number 16. A complex electronic device contains 3 components, A, B, and C. The probabilities of failure of each are 0.1, 0.01, 0.1%, 3%, 4%. If any one component fails, it will fail. If the component fail independently of one another, if the components, what is the probability the device will not fail in 1 year? What is the probability that it will not fail in 1 year? Okay, so as we look at this, we take this plus this plus this because we have component 1 fails or component 2 fails, or component this fails. Or means to add. If we find the sum of those numbers, we get 0.08. Well, if we take 8 from 1, because we want the complement, not fail, we should get 0.92. For some odd reason, they give us 0.922. That doesn't make any sense to me. So the answer to 16 is D, 0.922, even though 0.92 I think is the absolute correct answer. Okay, number 17, a large sample 98% confidence interval for the proportion of hotel reservations that are canceled on the intended arrival day is between 4.8% and 11.2%. What is the point estimate for the proportion of hotel reservations that are canceled on the intended arrival day from which this interval was constructed? In other words, the point estimate is the middle number. That's our p-hat. So if we look at this, we find the distance, 0.112 minus No. Sorry, we find the average of these two. We're going to add these two together. 0.048, so 8 to make 0, carry the 1, that makes 6. Okay, so that's 0.160. We then divide that by 2. We find the mean of these two, the mean of these two numbers, the middle of them, even though that's the median, but it's still the mean because we find that number and add and subtract from both sides of it. So that equals 0.08. And so that answer on number 17 is C. Okay, number 18. When using a one sample t procedure to construct a confidence interval for the mean of a finite population, a condition is that the population size be at least 10 times the sample size. In other words, the 10% condition. The reason for the condition is to ensure that there is the degree of dependence among observations is negligible. Okay, what that means is if dependence is negligible, it means that they are independent. Okay, so this is going to be D. That is going to be D. 18. I hate that answer, but boy, it makes you think. I guess it's a good answer, but degree of dependence among observations is negligible, means that they are independent with the 10% condition. Okay, 19 and 20. All right, a nonprofit organization plans to hold a raffle to raise funds, 1,000 tickets at $1 each. Tickets are sold, one ticket will be selected, and that person will get $50. The expected value for the net gain of each ticket is 95 cents, a negative 95 cents. What is the meaning of this? It means if you buy a ticket, your net gain is going to be 95 cents, a negative 95 cents. That means B, that the ticket owner loses on average an average of 95 cents per raffle ticket. It doesn't mean each ticket owner will, because somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to win $50. But the average expected is not a loss of 95 cents. Okay, number 20, last one of this set. Suppose that on a hypothesis test, the single population is mu is less than 10. Assume that that is true. For a fixed sample size and significance level alpha, the power of the test will be greatest if the actual mean is which of the following. That means it gives me the best chance of getting the best answer of rejecting the null. And since this is less than, it's going to be the smallest number given compared to 10. And in that case, it's A. It's 8. Now, if this had been greater than, if it had been greater than, then 13 would be my answer. But since it says less than, we want the smallest number given here, and that answer is going to be 8. Give me the best chance of getting this correct. And that is that answer.